Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rika and this is Rika Life. Thank you so much for joining me on my adventures in yarn and crochet. Today, as always, I have lots to share with you. Before we get started, please like this video, share, leave me a comment, and subscribe to my channel. All right, so we are going to be following up on a project that I shared with you earlier, and that is the baby blanket I'm making for my cousin's baby. So just to recap, this is the yarn I'm using, Yarn Bee Baby Bee Sweet Delight Prints in the color Jumping Juniper. And it has tan, cream, olive, and like a baby blue, soft baby blue in there. I'm holding two strands together. It is a DK weight yarn, and I'm using a J 6mm hook, Susan Bates. I am doing a moss stitch square, so I think I've like tangled up all my yarn now. But anyways, I started off making one moss stitch square and quickly realized that if I continue, it's going to just use up all the yarn, because as the square gets bigger, it takes more and more yarn to get around the square. So then I kind of totally changed my strategy, and I was like, this won't work. So I had already made one square and I didn't want to frog it. So what I decided to do is to make multiple squares and to join them. So I have 4 squares that are done, and I laid them out. Sorry, I'm just joining the yarn together. These are my new scissors from Hobby Lobby. Look at my new scissors. They're so fancy. They're fancy. They're very sharp. They even have a cover for them because they're so sharp. So I am done 4 of these, and they all look a little bit different, but still similar. So I laid out all 4 of these and realized that it's not big enough. So I'm thinking to make 6 of them, so it's a nice rectangle. And then the plan is I might be doing a border around each square with either a sage color or a teal color, which will match this. And then join them and then have like a border around the entire thing. All of that is yet to be seen. I started my 5th square and I'm working on that now. And I thought that we can have a little WIP and yarn chat today. I can just work on my project and you can work on a project and we can just spend some time together today. It's been a long time since I've done a WIP and yarn chat video. There's a separate playlist for them on my channel, and you could just go in there and, you know, just let the playlist play and just enjoy, sit back, do your crocheting, enjoy the conversation. You can always answer me in the comments or out loud. That's what I'm always doing. So I think I did mention this before, but when I'm crocheting, I like to watch other YouTubers who are either crocheting or talking about yarn. So that's just my thing. I don't randomly throughout the day turn on any of those videos. I save them for when I'm crocheting. So that's like my special time to get to know what's happening in the yarny world. Sorry, I'm just untangling this. What's happening in the yarny world, what new yarns are out, who's having a sale, what new patterns and projects are there, and just all that good stuff. So I know a lot of you might be busy making gifts for Christmas time. I'm busy making gifts because my parents are visiting and I'm sending back a couple things with them. So that's what I'm busy with. But now come to think of it, I'm wondering if I should send some things for my friends. That might be something nice to send to them. I just don't know what though. But since my parents are coming, they could take back some stuff for my friends. So I'm just thinking out loud. All right, I finally untangled it all. I'm praying for no more tangles because I have a lot of yarn barf, you guys, out of these 2 balls that I started. These are the second. So I have 4. I've already used 2 and now I'm on the last 2. But like, look at the amount of yarn barf. Like, I can't even. That's from one and this is from the other. So I'm trying to keep things separate here. I'm trying to like just not get anything tangled. I'm loving making these moss stitch squares. I must say it is very, very enjoyable. A moss stitch square, if you've ever made a granny square, if you've ever learned how to do a single crochet and a chain stitch, you can make a moss stitch square. It literally is just single crochets and chain on spaces. Yes, you do need to do the setup round in the very beginning and just make sure your work is not leaning. Now, what some people do for that is that they actually turn their work on every round. I do not do that. And it's not leaning that much. So I'm happy with that. I don't have a problem with that. I think there was just one square that was leaning a bit, the first one I did. But like after that, it's not leaning. It's fine. So I'm not turning. That's too much for me to remember to turn after every round. I just, I like to do things the simple way. So now the other side is trying to get all tangled. I'm going to spend this whole time just untangling my yarn and getting to do very little crocheting. But anyhow, let me know in the comments, what are you working on? If you're making gifts, what are you making? If it's something for your home, what are you making? Or for yourself. It's always nice to make something for ourselves. For me, that was the Santa hats. I did end up putting a pom-pom on one of them. And I'm in the midst of making a second pom-pom. It's just a homemade pom-pom maker out of a cardboard piece. Nothing fancy, but I feel like it's not looking like the other kind of really full pom-poms that people put on Santa hats. But you know what? It's my first time making Santa hats. It's my first time making pom-poms. So I'm just giving myself a little bit of grace and just, it's okay. It's fine. I'm going to move over a bit so that you can see my crocheting. So yes, I am just giving myself some grace and, you know, it'll be fine. It's just a Santa hat. I know you're seeing a reflection right there. It's my pot light is touching this frame, the glass, and that's what it's shining off of. It's kind of very distracting for me, but I'm just going to pretend like it's not there. So, okay. Oh my gosh, there's so much yarn barf that's just sitting around here. Anyways, so yeah, if you're making things and like you're not 100% happy with them, please know that that's very normal. I make things all the time that I'm not 100% happy with, and you know, you just have to live with it. So yes, I frog things. Yes, I take things apart. But for the most part, I just go with it. And I'm like, I want to get things done. You know, I really want, this is what I'm doing. I'm trying to untangle this. I want to get things done. I want to get things crossed off my list. That big list that I shared of 10 different big projects, one of which I have entirely now taken off the list. So now I only have 9. The one thing I took off the list was making a large bow for my mantle. So I recently printed some pictures and put them up on my mantle and, you know, in that area. And after putting up the pictures, I was like, I don't need a bow now. It's just going to get too busy. So I'm fine with not making a bow this year. Yes, I do have some Hirschner's like velvet yarn that I wanted to use to make that bow, but I can live without it. It's okay. I ended up getting, our friend made us a wreath for our door, our front door, and it is just beautiful. I have poinsettias outside my front door. They're fake, but they're beautiful. So I'm feeling festive. It is already, well, no, like the first week of December, I do not have a tree. I do not know if a tree is in my future. I'm honestly very happy without the tree, but then I'll need to figure out how to tell my 5-year-old where will Santa put the gifts. So if you know how to solve that one, please let me know. I'm just sitting here untangling yarn. I still have all this yarn barf. So yeah, if you can figure out for me how to go through the season without a tree and explain it to my 5-year-old, then yeah, I'd love to know your comments. We've been doing the Elf on the Shelf thing. That's been really fun. It's been challenging, but I found some things online and there's tons of ideas, so that's been really fun every day. He doesn't always understand it though. Like yesterday I found a thing that said, do you want to play rock, paper, scissors? And I put all the things beside the elf and I put it down, and he just like grabbed the scissors out of the elf's hand and he's like, why is the elf holding scissors? And I was like, because the elf wants to play rock, paper, scissors with you. And he was just like, okay. And I was like, great. That one was a fail. He didn't care for that one. There's so many different ideas, but it's like you need kind of like a dedicated space in your house to do all these elf ideas, and you have to be okay with making a little bit of a mess. I saw a really cool one, which was they stuck the elf on the back of the mom's sweatshirt. I thought that was great with like masking tape, and I was like, that's great, except like, how's that gonna work? Because then I gotta put my coat on, I gotta go drop them to the bus. Like, I was just like, I'm not really sure how that's gonna work. So yeah, I think that's a great idea. It's like a nice lazy idea, but how's that gonna be practical? Okay, I'm still getting through it. I got through all of this. Honestly, sometimes I just cut the yarn. Sometimes I can't be bothered with all these tangles and I just cut the yarn, and then I keep those scraps and I make baby hats with them. For some reason, I kept all my weaving in my ends scraps. I don't know why. I thought I was going to use it for stuffing. I don't think that's going to happen. I saw a really cool hack for stuffing. So I bought a, what is it? 10-pound bag of stuffing, box of stuffing. I got it at a really amazing price. And of course, I opened the box. I opened the top. So it was, I guess, compressed. And then it just kind of like puffed up. I saw online that someone left the box closed and cut a little hole in the cardboard box near the bottom, and then just started pulling out stuffing from there. And I was like, huh, that's pretty genius. So try it out. That's so much better than letting this whole thing like double in size, and now it's just taking up space. I think I put some stuff on top of it to kind of hold it down. But yeah, I think that stuffing will last me for a while now, and I'm just glad I have it so that if I'm making other things that I can, you know, not have to run out and try and look for more stuffing because I already have it now. All right. I think I might cut it. Oh my gosh. Okay. See, it's still coming out. I don't know what's happening. It wants to it keeps nodding on itself. Anyways. Yeah, I don't know if many of you have this much patience. I'm gonna cut it. I'm done. I'm not even getting to crochet. The whole point of this is to work on my WIP. Oh my gosh, I can't cut with one hand. Okay. There you go. This is how much I cut out. Barely anything, okay? And then I'm just gonna tie it back together. This is, I think, called a Russian knot. Excuse me, where you make 2 knots. That's the first one. Then you make another knot. that's the second one, and then you pull tight, and then you just cut off the ends. I have not had even one of these come apart on me, so I'm quite confident in this knot. So there we go. Okay, now let's just not get the two different balls of yarn tangled together and we should be okay. So back to actually working on my project now, which has barely grown in size because I have just been working with yarn barf all this time. But anyways, this is like, I feel like this stitch is so meditative. Like single crochet, chain one, single crochet, so meditative. I actually made a blanket like this last year. It was just, I think it was only, the whole thing was just one big moss stitch square, and someone wanted it to send to their friend in Australia, so it went all the way to Australia, which is pretty cool. I mean, my pieces are kind of like all over because I've gifted things to a lot of family members, so my pieces are like in India, in Canada, and probably in some other places too that I don't even know of, but it's nice. I like it. Okay. Just have to remember when I get to the corners to do the corners. I'm trying so hard to not get this all tangled up. So, does anyone want a tutorial on this? I mean, how to make a moss stitch square? It's really just one method, and then you can make the square as big or small as you want. You can use whatever colors you want. It's really nothing complicated, but it's been a while, you guys, since I've made a tutorial. It's been, I think it might have been like a year. It's been so long, but I do have a tutorials playlist on my channel, so you can definitely go over and check that out for what I do have on there. I think I have a couple of hats. I have a corner to corner tutorial. What else? Yeah. And then I actually had designed a few pieces, but then I got so busy doing other crochet things that I didn't end up even writing down my pattern. So now I literally would have to go back, sit down, look at my pattern and figure out what did I do, and then write it all down and then make it into a tutorial to put on my channel. I do enjoy making tutorials. It's just a little nerve-wracking because it's been so long, and it is actually quite a lot of work. It's a lot of work to do the filming, to keep making the piece, and then to actually edit it all together, to take the pictures, and just, you know, it's a lot of work. So if you are following other people who make tutorials, just know that there's so much behind the scenes work that goes into making a tutorial. It's not simply, you know, you sit down, you record one thing and you upload it. It's really, there's so much more to it. When I recorded hat tutorials, I've spent like, say the hat would take me, you know, let's say it would take me an hour to make. With doing the tutorial, it could take me like an hour and a half or an hour and 45 minutes to make it, because I have to keep starting, stopping, explaining, then I have to stop and work on the hat, you know, and sometimes you make mistakes. So it's not for the faint of heart, but it is very rewarding to have something that you've created that someone else can then use to make their own project. It is definitely very rewarding. I also have some patterns on Ravelry in case you haven't seen those before. All the links are in the description of this video. You can go over there and see my patterns. Those are all written patterns. And then of course, the majority of my videos are just, you know, me sharing my projects, me sharing, doing things like this where I work on it with you and just having fun, you know. There's lots of fun things. I think crocheting is just like so relaxing, and so I'm just always so inspired. I must say that I'm always so inspired by what people make, and that's why I'm constantly looking for new designs, new patterns. I don't mind buying patterns. I'm a little bit price sensitive on that, but I don't mind paying for a good pattern, especially one like the fidget hedgehog pattern, which I've made the beaded fidget hedgehog by Willow and Wild, which I have made now like probably over 100 times. And so yeah, some patterns are like definitely worth it. And yeah, so there's that. I also have a membership on my channel, so you can join and become a member, and that just goes towards supporting the channel. I am trying to get things ready for donations, so I'm hoping to kind of do a big push and get that all out by the middle of December, because I do have some holiday themed hats that I'm making for the babies in the NICU. So I want them to be able to get it in time. I'm very inspired to make another table runner for my dining table. I kind of really love the one I made for my mom, the black and gold one. I know I haven't shared a full picture of that, but I shared a little picture of it when I had started it. So I know it's not as practical as making one, you know, made with cotton or something like that. Plus, I don't know how long I would leave it on. So like, it's black with gold glitter kind of sparkle on it. And I feel like for like New Year's Eve, that would be so nice. But then what happens to it after? Like, do you leave it up for January? Like, I'm not really sure. So, yeah, I want to make things that I can use over and over. I want to make things that I can display for more than a couple days at a time, because there's so much effort going into it, you know? So I try to make things based on that. And so, yeah, but I do have like almost 4 balls of yarn left over from that project. So I think I would definitely just make a throw with it. Maybe a larger throw, or I was thinking I could make a really nice top with it. I don't know if I would make my size, but I could definitely make one for my daughter. Yeah, I could make her a nice black and gold top, and I think she could wear that, you know, for parties and things like that. She could definitely wear something like that. I mean, I think she could. Hopefully she likes it. Hopefully it can fit properly. Alternatively, I was thinking I could even make a hexagon cardigan out of that. It's just not really gonna show the hexagon. I mean, the hexagon cardigan is basically like a granny square, but it's in a hexagon shape. So it's really just those 3 double crochets that are getting repeated all the way around. That might look nice. I'm not really sure, but I have made 4 or 5 hexagon cardigans before. So I am kind of okay with making that pattern again. I just need to figure out what it is that I want to make with that yarn. Because now that I've bought it, I really want to use it. It's like, I still have it like right here in this room. So I haven't put it away yet, but I would love to use it. Anyhow, I'm finally making some progress on this. And one of the balls, all the yarn barf is gone. There's no yarn barf. So at least it won't get tangled with the other one. The other one still has all this. So we'll see how that goes. What was I going to say? Yes. Please do let me know in the comments what you're working on. And I really hope that you had a nice, relaxing weekend. You had some time to crochet. If not, I hope you get time to do that today. I just find it so soothing and calming and relaxing and inspiring, and I love to crochet, you guys. So anyhow, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, I hope you have a wonderful crochetful day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.